All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to try and map the modern mind. I mean, what are the big questions, the fears, the hopes that connect all of us right now? Let's dive in and find out. So, what are we all thinking about? It's a huge question, right? But it really gets to the core of what it means to be human today. What are the worries, the hopes, the stuff that's really on our minds? To get a handle on this, we did something pretty cool. We basically took a snapshot, a single day's worth of content from the huge website Psychology Today. The idea is, if we look at what people are reading and searching for, we can kind of create a map of our collective consciousness. And it's pretty fitting because the site's own tagline basically invites us to do exactly that. So yeah, let's take them up on it. Let's see what this map of ours starts to reveal. Okay, first up, mapping the modern mind. Let's start with the big picture, the major territories. What are the main buckets that all our psychological concerns fall into? So, looking at this chart, the main territories probably aren't a huge shock to you, but their size really tells a story, doesn't it? You've got mental health, relationships, and personal growth just dominating the landscape. And then personality and family life are also carving out these really big chunks of space. I mean, these are the fundamental pillars of our inner and our outer worlds. All right, let's zoom in on our map. Our next section is all about the world inside us. The self, our personality, our habits, all those private struggles we all have. This quote really nails a core belief of modern psychology. We are not fixed. This idea that our personality isn't set in stone, that we can actually change the parts of ourselves that are holding us back, well, that gives us a huge sense of control, especially when the world feels so chaotic. It's a message of incredible personal power. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's this paradox, right? Even as we're being told we can change, we have this powerful urge to figure out and label who we are right now. Why is that? Well, maybe in a world with endless choices, a label, a diagnosis, a personality type, it's like an anchor. We want to know if we fit into a box, whether it's ADHD or narcissism or being an introvert. It helps us find a community, a language for our experience, even while we're learning how to think outside that very box. And this question just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It's hitting on the central challenge of self-awareness. It's a powerful reminder that if you're going to explore yourself, you have to start by admitting that you don't have all the answers, that your own perspective is always going to be, by definition, incomplete. Of course, our minds don't exist in a vacuum. So let's move to the next big area on our map, connecting with others. It seems like in our super connected world, we're analyzing our relationships in these tiny, tiny moments. Take the bird theory test. This thing went viral for a reason. The idea is that the health of your relationship can be measured in these little bids for connection. Like, if your partner points out a bird, do you actually look up? It's such a simple test for a super complex reality. And, navigating connection also means navigating hurt. So check this out. An article on the site proposes that a single word, just saying ouch, can be a total game changer. Instead of jumping into a big fight, it just signals the pain cleanly. It opens a door to fix things, not to start a war. But let's be real, connections can also be where we get our deepest wounds. And this quote, this really widens the lens. It's a reminder that beyond simple communication hacks and little tests, so many of us are dealing with these massive, painful splits in our most important relationships, our families. Okay, time to zoom out on the map and look at the external world. Section 4, Navigating Our Modern World. This is all about the pressures from the outside that are shaping our lives on the inside. First up, the workplace. This headline just says it all, doesn't it? There's this deep anxiety about burnout. This idea that the people around you can see you're falling apart even before you do. And then, of course, there's technology. AI isn't just about our jobs anymore. It's changing us. There's this growing worry about how it's affecting how we interact with each other, and a really urgent call for some ethical rules to protect our own humanity. And a lot of that anxiety is focused right on the next generation. I mean, the constant debates about banning cell phones in schools, that just shows how much we're wrestling with what these devices are doing to kids' development, their learning, and their mental health. So you've got all these huge modern stressors, burnout, AI, being plugged in 24/7. And what's the advice we're often given? It's surprisingly simple. Just pause. In a world that's screaming for us to react all the time, the big counterintuitive solution is to just stop. It kind of suggests that the best answers might be way simpler than the crazy complex problems we're facing. All right, so we've mapped out the problems, but what about the solutions? That brings us to our final section, from insight to action. What's really interesting is that the website itself lays out a pretty clear path for people. It's like a 3-step journey. You start with just exploring ideas, getting curious. Then you move to looking inward, maybe taking one of those self-tests. And finally, you get to the concrete step of finding actual professional help. And that idea of help is so much bigger now. The support system is huge and varied. It's not just about one-on-one therapy in an office anymore. The modern map of help includes everything from treatment centers to way more accessible stuff like support groups and online therapy. It's a recognition that there are a lot of different roads to feeling better. So when you step back and look at this whole map, what's the big takeaway? I think it's that psychology today isn't being sold as some dusty academic subject. It's being framed as an essential, practical toolkit. It's a set of skills and ideas to help us navigate the crazy complexities of our own minds and the world out there. And that really brings everything back to you. We've laid out the map. We've seen the major territories, the self, our relationships, the challenges of modern life, and the paths to getting help. So the only question left is, where on this map will you explore first?